Yo, what's up, people? It's your boy. I'm Christodon1, and I am back with another video. Now, I'm pretty sure everyone is well aware of the new policies that YouTube put in place for content providers. These new policies affect how content providers get ad revenue, generate ad revenue, as well as gaining traffic for new content, and how YouTube is sort of kind of cleaning up a lot of things that's around and pretty much evolving YouTube. All right, and a lot of people may point to when YouTube came to this outcome. A lot of people think it was because of PewDiePie. That played a factor, but it wasn't the major driving point. A lot of people may point to a lot of videos that are not deemed family friendly, a lot of political videos, a lot of religious videos. There's some videos out there that promotes terrorism, believe it or not, and a lot of people will gravitate to those issues, saying, well, see, this is the reason why YouTube had to come to this agreement. And the real reason is, I've been noticing this about YouTube for the past couple of years, okay? I can go far back as 5 years ago, all right? A lot of you guys may not be aware that YouTube was changing into this direction anyway. Now, these policies benefit YouTube in two folds, all right? One, to satisfy the corporations that put their ads on YouTube, because YouTube generates money from those ads. The same could be said for content providers, and YouTube wants more of the bigger financial pie, so to say. All right, they want more than a 50-50 split of the pie. And before the ad revenue policy, YouTube was already taking a huge chunk of the pie. And YouTube been noticing that a lot of content providers are getting fed off of YouTube's service. So it's a combination of a lot of factors, but mainly the reason why they came ultimately to this decision was to satisfy a lot of these big time corporations like Walmart, Target, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, United Airlines, Sears, just to name a few of those big time corporations. And they were threatening to pull their ads from YouTube. And that's how ultimately YouTube makes its money. And that's why YouTube is ultimately a free service. All right. Now, if you look at YouTube Red, you can pretty much tell where YouTube is ultimately going to be in the foreseeable future. YouTube wants a service ultimately where subscribers, people like you and myself that watch and view these videos, YouTube not only wants revenue from ads, but they want revenue from you guys as well. Because if YouTube Red turns out to be a huge success and a lot of people are subscribing to YouTube Red, well, guess what happens? All right, now something that was free, it's going to be a subscription service. All right, and this happens to every walk of life. I mean, every type of successful platform or company. All right, and YouTube is no different. Now, me personally, when you think about the ad revenue policy that they implemented 2 or 3 months ago, I think it's fair. And I know why they had to do it. They had to protect their backsides, because a lot of corporations were threatening to pull their ads because YouTube has content currently running that is not deemed ad friendly. All right, and YouTube is trying to get in a Disney type mode, sort of like ESPN. A lot of people seem to forget that back in the day, ESPN was the place to go to not only get your sports stories, but then you hear the characters, the announcers, the analysts be very boisterous, sort of say, and ESPN used to get fed off of that. Now, ever since Disney bought ESPN, Disney is a family-friendly organization, and when they bought ESPN, a lot of those analysts could not say what they want to say, and that's why a lot of those analysts are they either no longer work for ESPN, or they've been fined, and they are aware now of how ESPN ultimately want these guys to behave, you know, on and off the camera. You know, for an example, Sage Steele. When Sage Steele made the comments about her being stranded at the airport because of a protest, and Disney came to her and said, ESPN came to her and said, well, I could have said Disney, and said that that's not the type of image they want to portray. All right, so Sage Steele had to learn the hard way, and she lost her ESPN NBA gig, all right, to Michelle Beadle, all right? And this is what's going on and plaguing YouTube in a nutshell. YouTube wants to be politically correct, and they also want more of the pie that they were always getting with revenue. Now, what this means for content providers. Basically, content providers, they can't speak freely or make videos discussing topics like political, some entertainment, as well as entertainment, the paparazzi type of deal, and a lot of sports stories. For an example, the bulk of my content was sports stories. Now, I was going to talk about Mr. Elliott for the Dallas Cowboys, his domestic violence situation, but if I would have uploaded that video would have had a hard time getting traffic. Now, me personally, I do not worry about YouTube's revenue. I do not feed my family off of YouTube revenue. I have a great career, all right? But if everybody put themselves in the position of people who make a living from YouTube and desperately and they think of YouTube as a job, all right? And a lot of these big time content providers are now at the crossroad where they're basically making next to nothing. Sure, you're getting your views, all right? Sure, you're getting some traffic, particularly from your overpopulated audience, all right? But as far as gaining new subscribers, you have a hard time to do that because YouTube figure out a way where they're not going to highlight or spotlight your video on YouTube, all right? So that way you can't create new traffic, okay? And now a lot of content providers are at this crossroad. Now, some content providers have made it feasible, sort of say, to get some of their revenue from their ad revenue by doing donations, okay? Like PayPal and GoFundMe, as well as Patreon. They do a lot of live streams. They do super chat, this, that, and the third. And that subsidize some of the revenue that they're missing or lacking in their ad revenue, all right? And I remember doing a video, and I uploaded that video on this channel as well as my gaming channel, talking about the Hodge twins. Now, the Hodge twins, they're still doing 100,000 plus views on their videos. However, they're not making a penny off of those videos because that content is deemed not family friendly. All right. So now the Hodge twins come to the realization of they have to basically make their content a subscription service similar like HBO. They have a new YouTube channel that's a premium service, and if you subscribe, you have to put in your debit or your credit card, and you pay $2.99, $5.99. I'm not 100% sure what it is, and you get to thoroughly enjoy their content. Now, if this proves to be a success, which piggybacks off of the YouTube Red, if this proves to be a success, you're going to see a lot of content providers, mainly on YouTube, adapting this ideal to their concept. All right. Now, what this means for YouTube Red. All right. YouTube been wanting to do this for a minute now. They basically want to make YouTube a subscription service. All right. Yes, they're going to have the free YouTube set to the side, but a lot of that content that you guys are subscribed to, that you're fond of, is ultimately going to go to YouTube Red. All right. A subscription type of service. Okay. Now, YouTube is trying to play both sides of the sword. All right. As far as that portion of YouTube that's free, that's going to be used for a lot of the corporations that want to play their ads through that type of system. Now with YouTube Red, however, that's a subscription service. You don't necessarily need ad support there. And if corporations still want to present ads on YouTube Red, then they understand that most, if not some of that content is not going to be family oriented. Okay, so you're going to see some corporations having an option. Okay, and their consumer base will not be upset because a lot of their commercials are going to be on the free YouTube side of things. But that side is the side that a lot of content providers are stressing about, because they can't make the content that they was normally making a year ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, what made them hugely successful. Okay, now with my situation, when you're talking about myself, when I do videos, I'm making money off of my videos, but it's not enough money for me to quit my day job, and I wouldn't quit my day job anyway. Okay, I made a decision to keep my job. All right, and there's a lot of content providers that chose the opposite. Okay, now what this means for me, it really does not affect me because I wasn't expecting to go on YouTube to make a lot of money, but it is affecting me on gaining a newer audience and my channels, stunting my channel's growth. Okay, because my videos will not be featured and highlighted if I continue to go this route, making videos that YouTube may deem not family friendly, like the Elliot situation with the domestic violence. I wanted to do a video on that. Unfortunately, I can't do that video. Taylor Swift, I definitely wanted to do a video on Taylor Swift situation, but once again, that video will not make the light of day with YouTube, particularly with these policies. And it's just not me having issues with YouTube. It's everybody, from the large content providers to the very small content providers. Okay, it's this new ad revenue policy is blanketing everybody. Now, to the corporations like CNN, Fox, ESPN, they're not they have YouTube channels they have channels on YouTube, but they're not going to be affected by it. Okay, one, because they already got the ad support from their networks. Okay, and YouTube is not going to bother them because the majority of their content they deem it family friendly. Okay, but for an example, they can talk about Mr. Elliott and his 6-game suspension, Ezekiel Elliott and his 6-game suspension, and they can talk about his domestic violence case, of the domestic assault case. Excuse me. They can talk about that, and it won't affect them. They will still get the clicks on the ads on their videos on YouTube. However, an individual like myself, if I address and attack that subject, then I will be hurt by it, okay? Like I said, I'm not worrying about the revenue. I'm more concerned about growing my channel, okay? Getting more traffic into my channel. And another thing that a lot of subscribers do not realize or do not understand is the comment section. The comment section is basically an indication to YouTube what type of content that you have. If you have a bunch of foul-mouthed people in your comment section dirtying up your video, sort of say, YouTube will look at those comments, and then they will they'll use that information to determine, as well as other information, to determine what type of video that you have. All right, so you're going to see a lot of content providers just disabling the comment section, okay, because of two folds. One, it dirty up their video and make their video not deemed family friendly, and two, it's really not beneficial anyway to have the comment section. All right, you know, back in the day, it was vital to have your comment section. You would do video responses back in the day. They cut and they got rid of all of that stuff. Okay, a lot of people think with the like button, you know, liking a video or disliking a video, people think that if you dislike a video enough, it will cause a damage to your video, but in actuality, it promotes your video. All right, if you, for an example, if you have 1,000 dislikes and 10 likes, you got 1,010 likes that only popularize that video. Okay, so I chuckle at the fact when people dislike my video, but what you're actually doing is promoting my video. You're making awareness for my video. So as far as my channel changes go, I may have to be forced to get rid of the comment section, okay? Because I've been reading a lot of comments in my video, and the reason why I came to this conclusion, because of two folds, it's really not beneficial for my channel, because YouTube look at those comments as well as the video, and then they determine whether or not my video is deemed or rewarded family friendly. Now, as far as the content go, I can't address or tackle social issues and things of that nature. Okay, I'm going to have to make content that is family friendly from this point forward. All right, and if you guys do not see any videos this week, I pretty much came to the realization that I'm probably going to have to wait a week and just upload videos that way. So I might have to be on a schedule where I may live stream once a week and I may upload a video. I'm gonna try to do it twice in a week, but in all likelihood it's gonna be once a week, because I have a career, I have a life, I have to take care of those facets before I can do a video, and two, I have to put more time and effort in my video. I have to check my video to make sure it's not it's not going against the grain of what YouTube wants. They want a family oriented type of video.